Hi, Terry here with HVAC Maintenance and Supplies. Today we're going to talk a little bit about V-belts, the different types and styles out on the market, and some of the maintenance procedures to allow you to get your maximum life out of a V-belt. One of the biggest questions we get asked is, how do I size or cross-reference a belt that I have over to something that I can purchase online? There's basically two different kinds of V-belts out there. You have your smooth finish inside or your cogged or ribbed type belt inside. And the basic way to tell the difference between these is that, for instance, the two that I have here, this is an A, the cogged is an AX belt. Any belt that is ribbed or has the notches inside and is considered a cog belt will have an X terminology in it, and it's kind of an industry standard. You have A belts, B belts, and C belts that are all the smooth finished, and then you have AX, BX, and CX belts. And on our website, mainsupplies.com, you can see all those different product categories, the sizing, how to belt size them, how to cross-reference size them. The best way to actually size a belt, you want to start off by going by the number that's on there, and typically it'll cross over to something on our site. If it does not, we have this, it's called a belt measuring device online there, and it's the best way to tell exactly what kind of belt you have and get it crossed over. You simply place the belt in the two grooves here, push the belt up tight so it's snugged up, and then you can read in here whether it's an A belt, a B belt, C or D belt. And then it'll also give you the dimension. For instance, this one, falls in the category when I tighten it up as an A41, and sure enough, that's what's on here is an A41. So this belt measuring device is a great tool for figuring out what type of a belt that you do have. If you don't have a belt measuring device, you can also go with kind of an old school way of doing it, and that would be taking a string or a clothing tape measure, a tailor's measure, and you want to get essentially 4 different dimensions off it. You want the inside circumference around the belt, the outside circumference around the belt, the top width across it, and the thickness, meaning if you were to push it down on a table and measure the height of it. Once you have those 4 dimensions, you can then go to our website and you can look under the belt sizing link, and it'll categorize it into what you have. You can also go under the product pages, and under each product page it'll also tell you the inside circumference, outside circumference, top width, and thickness in relation to what they refer to as the nominal length. And when they say nominal length, they're referring to what you would find on the website. So if it's an A42, that's the nominal length, and then the inside circumference on that may be 42 inches, the outside circumference maybe 44 inches, which it just so happens on this belt it is. The other thing you may run into is an A belt and a 4L belt and a 5L belt versus a B belt. They're pretty much one in the same belt. One is measured by the outside circumference, the other is measured by the inside circumference. So if you're questioning, you have a 4L belt, go to the cross-reference on there. The A belts are always 2 sizes different. The B belt versus the 5L is typically 3 sizes difference. It'll make sense once you look at that chart. So, okay, well that kind of gets into the sizing end of things. Now let's talk a little bit about the proper setup of a belt when you put it on to get your maximum life. One of the reasons you want to make sure that you have your tensions set right and that you have your pulleys and shivs lined up is to get number one, get the maximum life out of them, but the efficiency of your equipment and the longevity of your equipment. If you have a belt on there that maybe doesn't look cracked, people might think, oh, it's not cracked, it's fine for a while yet. That's not the case though. If it starts getting glazed and slipping on the sides, your system isn't delivering the amount of air that it should deliver, you can end up slugging liquid back to your refrigeration compressor, in turn premature failure of your compressor. You also have the issue of if your belt is slipping, you're not delivering the amount of air out to your system that you should be, so your air conditioner takes longer to run to be able to satisfy the space, and of course that drives up your utility bills. So there's a lot of reasons to make sure that you're setting up your belt, exactly the way that it's designed to be set up. Again, we talked about lining up the shivs and make sure that they're perfectly in line. The other thing would be the V-belt tension, or the tension of the V-belt between the 2 pulleys. Now there's a lot of different tension gauges out there on the market, and we sell them on the website, mainsupplies.com, but one of the more common types we carry on our site, actually a few of them here, is a V-belt tension gauge. This is called a single barrel type V-belt tension gauge. And the way that it works is you put the belt on between your two pulleys there, and this is all described in the instructions with this, and it'll tell you where to set the tension. But you're basically measuring the force of deflection. So between the two pulleys, you push this down, it's spring loaded, kind of like a torque wrench, if you will, and you're setting that up. Now, it's a good idea if you really want to get maximum life to set that tension up and then come back after so many hours of runtime and recheck the tension. You know, we get into sometimes changing our belts just to make sure we're getting maximum efficiency, sometimes every 6 months or every year. People that let them go any longer than that, I can almost guarantee by that point in time that they're slipping. So this is one of them. You got your V-belt tension gauge single barrel. We've also got the double barrel out there for going across a set of 2 belts or a double banded belt. 5 barrel, which is even larger, will span across a series of 5 or 6 belts. Or a banded belt, and they all work off the same principle. You're measuring the force of deflection. They come with instructions. Here's another style out there that we have on there, just a little bit different configuration. It's a push-pull with a gauge type on it. And the product descriptions are on all these under shop by category V-belt tension gauges. We also have a couple of the automotive type for setting up your timing belts and such. So again, just a little bit of information about V-belts that a lot of people don't know. There's more to them than you think. Again, we're an online-based business. We have a wide variety of V-belts, all different sizes, types, metric belts. Easily be ordered online. Typically ship them the next day. So if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to send me an email on that, or visit us at mainsupplies.com. Thanks.